It's mind-boggling to me, the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives that are being affected for good today. doTERRA is a company that helps people fulfill their dreams. That's all there is to it.
So I lived here in Madagascar 18 years ago. It was such a powerful year and I fell in love with the people. It was super hard to leave. doTERRA entered the scene back in 2009. And that moment when I learned that our oils, doTERRA sources from Madagascar, I thought, okay, I know I'm gonna go back. Some purpose with doTERRA is gonna be all part of it. It allowed Gary to quit his job and come home and be on with the kids. And so I feel like suddenly we had a chance to dream together, and it's always been a dream to not return by myself, but to bring the family.
30 years ago, I was a young man living in the mountains of Peru. Because of the Healing Hands Foundation and doTERRA, I found myself in those same mountains helping install surgical equipment in a hospital. That dream did come true, and it came true with doTERRA.
Every step of the way, it's lifting someone. It's blessing someone. From the moment that seed goes into the ground till that oil gets on someone's body, it is goodness and
a light.
It's a light.
Everybody who gets involved with the doTERRA in one way or another finds value in how they can give back, how they can make a difference either individually or collectively or in a much larger scale throughout different communities.
You know, people are amazing and everyone has their unique story and everyone's valued. As wellness advocates combine their mission with our mission, together it's a broad mission that is really changing the world in tremendous ways.
I cannot afford the school fees. Even my manager met me. He told me, let them go to school, I give no money.
Even that day I gave her some advance. I said I would cover it.
There is nothing more important to the human spirit to know that they matter. As you see the change that occurs in the lives of people, that's what it's all about.
There has never been another time where the dream has been more alive than it is now.
And what doTERRA allows us is an opportunity to connect and to recognize the value that we have inside, to recognize the potential that we hold, and to truly allow our significance to come to life.
It's empowering to have essential oils right at your fingertips.
And then you see someone even who didn't necessarily believe in their abilities grow and develop and change and use their talent.
That's what doTERRA provides for millions of people
You know,
around
my
the world.
dreams were about restoring.
I didn't know that it was literally going to be the thing that was going to save me.
Because of one simple drop of oil that all started this for me.
You have a gift that has the potential to change somebody's life forever.
Hi. I'm going to unmute you for a second. So I wanted to start with that video. I hope it came through okay for you.
It didn't, there wasn't anything but that first screen.
No. Oh, shoot. So you
I could hear the words. It was fine, but
Okay.
there wasn't. I figured it was supposed to have people on it.
It was.
Oh,
well. Maybe the recording will show it. You can watch it on the recording, just that first part. But that is the video that they showed us at the get-go. We walked in convention, we sat down, and that's what came up. And every year at the convention, they always have something inspiring, right, to kick us off. And that just set the theme for all 3 days of just of dreaming and the hope and the magnitude of what this company is turning into. I'm going to get teary because I'm still kind of riding on that convention high, but it's so much more than just oils.
It's so people's lives.
It's people. And not just the people selling the oils and not just the people using the oils. We're connected to all these other people and it's amazing. And so I wanted to start our webinar out with that today to kind of give you a sense of where the company is going, where they've come from, where they're going, and just the amazingness of convention. I really want to have as many people there next year as possible. It's an amazing experience to go through. But we are gonna jump right into The slideshow, because I like slideshows. It keeps me on track. So one thing that I like to do with all of these webinars that I do, I don't like just to give you information. I like it to be an experience. I like it to be interactive. And one of the best ways for me to do that is to ask questions. And for you to do more than just, listen to this webinar, watch the recording afterwards, but really engage with this process. And this is the question that I came away from convention. And so I'm presenting it to you now at the beginning. Obviously, you're here, you're watching this, and so you have some kind of purpose with doTERRA. And I want to invite you just to take a minute, grab a piece of paper, write it down if you can, what your dream is. And it doesn't have to be some eloquent, statement. Just maybe you just want better health. Maybe you want better relationship with your family. Maybe there's, maybe you want the financial health. There could be all kinds of reasons for being part of this. So just think for a minute about what is your doTERRA dream. And if you'd like to share it, I'm happy to hear it, and I'd love to encourage you in it. But this is more for your benefit than anything. So Jeannie, do you feel up to sharing your doTERRA dream? What's your for being here and put you on the spot?
You bet. Well, mostly my dream or goal, I kind of think more on goals too, is just that, number one, I have better health and I can share it with other people so I can make an impact in their lives. And if I can get a monetary benefit, yay. If not, it seems like I don't push, and so someone else, has, and they get the monetary benefit, but I still have a friend, and so I have to find out that middle part, they'll come along for the ride and want to do it too. Because it took me, you can ask Kathy, it took me a very long time before, I shared an oil with me and shared another oil with me and shared something else with me and shared something else with me. Long time before I ever changed and said, okay, I'll get into it and I'll try it and see what it does. And, it's impacted my life. It's been a number of years. I don't even know, 4 years or something maybe.
Yeah, but, you've been doing it longer than I have, so.
It was in September or end of August, September or something, I think, that I did years ago. But it really helped my husband with his diabetes. And when he was doing the things that he should, he took the Vitality, and he just got diagnosed for type 2 diabetes, and we used some caplets, some basil, and some I gotta remember, On Guard, and there was one other, I don't know if it was coriander maybe, but that we used those together. He took one every day, and his A1C went down like in a month.
Wow.
Significantly. And I don't know, I'm sure a lot of it was what he was eating and, trying to exercise, but the doTERRA oils, I've, kept on going on those ever since. So.
Awesome. And that's the foundation of all, and I think everybody's dreams, right? Is to have health for themselves, so that there's this quote, right? We have more so we can give more.
Yeah.
If we have more health, we can give more health. If we have more money, we can give more money, whatever that investment is that we're making. Well, I have a dream with doTERRA too, and it's changed. My dream started with just wanting better health for my family. And over the years, as I've used it, and kind of like you, as I've shared it, I've realized that there's a greater purpose for me. And so my dream is to fulfill that purpose. And even though doTERRA is this huge company now, right? Like $2 billion company, over 6 million users.
Wow.
They're going to change the world. And I'm not kidding you. What we learned at convention, I'm convinced of it. This is more than a movement at this point. But for me, I'm not going to change the world. That's not my goal. at least at this point, right? I don't want to change it. I want to transform one person at a time, one family at a time. I want to help them uncover their true worth. I want them to see how their own amazing abilities, right, can bring them health, so that together we can create an army. I have this vision of an army of hope and optimism and action and wellness and moving forward. And that's a big dream for me to even put that into words sometimes, but I believe in it, and I believe it's going to happen. So let's jump into now. I'm going to try not to fire hose you. I'm so sorry. But there was, I mean, imagine this, right? 3 days, 6 hours a day, so 18 hours worth of information. I'm going to try and condense it into 40 or 45 minutes. So wish me luck. You ready? Hold on to your seat. Hold on to your seat. Grab a pencil if you need to, and let's go. Okay, so doTERRA had some pretty big dreams when they started. They told the story about 11 years ago. The founding members met in the basement of the Orem City Library, Orem City, Utah, right? In their basement at this little table, and talked about what they were dreaming, what they wanted. And they came up with this was their original mission statement. I'm not going to read it out for you, but you see the little check marks on the right. They've accomplished 4 of their original dreams, and then some, right? It's expanded a lot bigger, as dreams tend to do. But once we get into the actioning of them, our dreams tend to expand. But those 4 things have been accomplished. And they're working on the 5th one. So we're going to talk about that 5th one, about the healthcare professional aspect. It's very exciting, super exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay. So one thing that really came across to me in convention was I talk to a lot of people who say, oh, well, I can get oils anywhere, right? And my oils say, just like doTERRA. You heard that before? Oh, it's just like doTERRA. We get our oils just like doTERRA. We do it just like doTERRA. And for one thing, it's kind of flattering for the company, if you think about it, right? That they've become the standard that people are measuring against. That's a compliment. However, no matter what the label says, it's just not true. Nobody does it like doTERRA. And there's 5 major reasons why. And I've kind of outlined them here for you. The first one we talk a lot about, the certified pure therapeutic grade, and we're going to touch on that in a little bit later. We had a pretty cool presentation on that testing and the thoroughness of the testing and the research that goes into these oils. So that number 1 sets us apart. Nobody does CPTG. Number 2, source to you. Nobody has the transparency. If you're not familiar yet, the sourcetoyou.com, it's a website you can go to, and you can put the lot number of your specific bottle of doTERRA oil. You can write the lot number into that website, and you can see the actual testing results for that bottle of oil. Nobody else does that. Nowhere. And it took quite a bit of effort and money and investment for doTERRA to make that available to us, but it was important to them. And so, you put your money on your priorities. The third thing is co-impact sourcing. Nobody does this. These are their guiding principles. They have 8 guiding principles, and it's more than just creating jobs, right? Fair on-time payments, long-term partnerships, fair labor conditions, community development. These are huge, and this is what sets doTERRA apart. Number 4, the Healing Hands Foundation. That is an incredible organization. We're going to talk a little bit about it today, about some of the projects that they've been working on, some of the groups that they've been working with. It's amazing. We could have a Healing Hands convention, seriously, and just spend the whole day crying with each other, because it's so amazing what they do in lifting and truly healing our world. And so I saved this last little purple square for the end, this 96%, because this when I heard this number mentioned doTERRA, it just hit me in the gut. And I feel just compelled to share this with everyone, because I hear so often, like I said, people saying, oh, well, we're just like doTERRA, or my oils are just like doTERRA, but they're cheaper, or whatever. This number right here, if none of this other stuff existed, this would make it that an untruth. 96% of doTERRA's oils are exclusive. That means that 96% of the oils, including oils in the blends, come from exclusive suppliers. No, they don't sell to anyone else. They only provide oils for doTERRA. doTERRA doesn't own their companies. They're private, individually owned, farmers and distilleries and so forth. But that is a pretty impressive number. Nobody else has that kind of, even the people who say that they have their own farms have to outsource some of their oils, and 96% is unheard of in this industry. So if anybody ever tells you, oh, it's just like doTERRA, point them to these 5 themes and ask about them, right? Does your company do this? Does it have this? And you'll see the difference, besides just smelling the oils. Right? So just some of the things that they've been working on in the last year. They did this whole big section on, what's happened in the last year. So up to this point, they're helping 55 plus communities around the world. And this is everything from, like what I was talking about, the co-impact sourcing to the Healing Hands Foundation. We had a presenter, I forget her name. She wrote a book called Left to Tell. Did I take notes on it? Let me look at my notes really quickly here. She was amazing, but she's from Rwanda. And she came and was talking about, she had actually been one of their keynote speakers a couple of years ago. And she talked about that after she gave that speech a few years ago, she went backstage and she was talking with the owners and, just whatever, shooting the breeze, talking about stuff. But then she heard about their Healing Hands Foundation, and she said, oh, there's this school in Rwanda that is just falling apart. And so the founders took it in hand, and they're literally rebuilding a school in Rwanda. We don't have any oils in Rwanda. We don't get oils from Rwanda. There's no financial reason for Healing Hands or doTERRA to be taking on this project, but they do. And that's just one example of the kind of outreach that we have. Like I said at the beginning, that this is way more than an essential oil company, way more. Okay, I'm going to try and go through these things really quickly. Healing Hands. So I just mentioned one of the Healing Hands projects. They are continuing to build schools and water systems. And a really interesting thing happened in Haiti, I want to say. I might have the country wrong, but they had a really bad storm, and it knocked out, it wasn't Haiti, and it knocked out their water supply. And so the parents were keeping the kids home from school so that they could fetch water for the community, because water is, as hard as it is to say it, water is more important than education. But education is important. So doTERRA had already built a water system for this community, the one that got knocked out by the storm. And so doTERRA came back in, Healing Hands came back and rebuilt this water facility so that the kids could go back to school. Again, just one story of the amazing things that are happening here. They have a new website for Healing Hands. I didn't write it on this, but I will make sure to put it in the comments when I post this one on YouTube. To go check out, Healing Hands has their very own website now. It's beautiful, and you can go, and there's a way to contribute to Healing Hands via that website. You don't necessarily have to go through your doTERRA account anymore to contribute money to this organization, to this foundation. So very, very inspiring. They talked about all of the new offices that doTERRA has put in and is continuing to just expand around the country. And you see some of these, places, Russia, China, Guatemala, lots of impact that we're having around the world, and how amazing it is just to be part of that. Okay, so you remember how I showed you a few minutes ago that 5th mission statement, that doTERRA wanted to have an effect and impact with healthcare providers and create a new kind of movement, a new kind of healthcare. Well, they introduced it at convention this year. They kind of hinted at it last year that it was coming into play, but it is now full swing. It's called Prime Meridian Health Clinics, and it is a separate entity from doTERRA. They did that for a few reasons, one of which, right, they don't want any kind of legal battles about conflict of interest or any of that kind of thing. And so Prime Meridian Health Clinics is operating on its own, but it is a combination of allopathic and complementary holistic medicine with board certified physicians as well as some alternative type practitioners working together for the patient. They are currently building a facility in Pleasant Grove, Utah, just near headquarters, that should be open in April. They are under contract in 3 other cities around the United States to open up these clinics. They have contracts with the physicians. Now they're just working on the facilities. You know what I mean? So the first place is Phoenix, Arizona. Pretty exciting for anybody that lives in Arizona. We have a couple of people on our team in Arizona, so they are going to be cheering. I have to tell you, I was kind of jealous as I heard the locations announced. I'm still voting for Oklahoma. It's going to happen. And in California, right? We have a huge doTERRA effect. And that's the thing, is that these clinics will be open to everyone, not just doTERRA wellness advocates. It'll be a community health clinic. So one in Phoenix, one in St. George, Utah. So they'll actually get 2 in Utah. And then the third one is in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was actually very surprising for me, but it kind of makes sense because of all the work that Vanderbilt University has done in implementing essential oils and doing a lot of research and that kind of thing. So it kind of actually makes sense that they have a very strong essential oil community there. Just a few key aspects of this Prime Meridian Health Clinic. You will have, they won't accept insurance, but it'll be more like a cooperative, like a gym membership is how he described it. Just a low monthly cost for primary health, health visits. And you'll have access to your doctor. They have this really cool, they demonstrated this really cool online system that you'll be able to actually talk with your doctor out, from your home and ask him questions, and kind of like the Ask a Nurse, but you actually get your doctor. So that was really cool. They will be recommending essential oils and other supplements in these health clinics. However, you won't be able to purchase any of the supplements or the essential oils in the clinics. The physician or health practitioner will just say, well, do you have a doTERRA wholesale account? And if the patient doesn't, then they will say, okay, go to the person who referred you to come to this clinic, or do you have any friends or family that can help you get your own account? So that was really cool for those of us that are building a business, that we're not going to be in competition with these healthcare professionals. We're going to be working with them and helping them and helping their patients to get the products they need. It was a very, very cool thing to hear. All right, you ready for products?
Yeah.
That's what we're all here for anyway, right? It's the products. Okay, so I'm gonna slide through these actually pretty quickly because I'm running slow on time. But I do have information posted about each of these products on our Facebook group. doTERRA's put up a whole bunch of videos on their YouTube channel, so you can go and get more information. And I'm always a resource for you. So if you have a question, you run into an issue, wondering how to use it, or wondering what would be good for, call me, message me, text me, or contact the person that introduced you to doTERRA and ask them. because we can all, if we don't have the answer, we can always find the answer. We're all about education. So the first one on our list is the kids collection. And this was, I'm telling you, this
so cool.
The cheer that went up was so amazing. And these oils are fabulous. So it comes as, right now it's only available as a kit, but starting, I believe, in November or possibly December, you'll be able to purchase each roller bottle separately, which is nice, right? Because you're not going to, like printer ink, you're not going to run out of all of the oils all at the same time. You're going to want to be able to replace them as it goes. So let's touch on each of them right now. So the first one is called Thinker. That is the Focus blend. They compared it to, all of these blends have a counterpart in the regular doTERRA lineup, right? And what was available previously. They all have a counterpart. These are all just reformulations, and they've been toned down a little bit for children or for people who are sensitive. So it's called the Kids Collection. I'm telling you, I smelled these and I will totally use these for myself. I'm probably gonna have to get another set for my kids because they're awesome. So the first one is the Thinker blend. It's kind of like the Intune blend, but it has vetiver, peppermint, clementine, and rosemary in it. It smells amazing. Just a hint of sweetness. That was one complaint a lot about the Intune blend. Is it's very heavy. It's just very patchouli heavy. This one has no patchouli in it. It does have that vetiver, which is really good for calming, but it has the clementine and that peppermint for focus and uplift, whereas the rosemary, which is really good for brain function. So Focus, the Thinker blend. Calmer is the Restful blend. So it's kind of similar to Serenity in its function. However, it's a totally different smell. You can smell the lavender and you can kind of smell the Roman chamomile, but it has more of that woodsy kind of an aroma to it because of the Buddha wood and the Kananga in it. So I think you're really going to love this one. I know that Serenity is one of your favorites.
It is.
Right, Jeannie? Yeah, I think you're really going to like this. And your grandkids they're going to go crazy over this one.
I can't wait to share them with them. I think my daughter's going to absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be amazing for a lot of people. So the next two, and they come in, they introduced them to us kind of in sets of two, right? So for your mind, your body, and your heart. So that first set was for your mind, right? Thinking, calming, restful. This is for your body. Stronger is the Protective blend. So similar function as On Guard, but toned down. And it doesn't have any of the cinnamony or the clovey in it. So kind of a different approach. It actually has the new Litzy in it. Did you get to get the Litzy when we had it last month or August?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, this has Litzy and it has rose in it. So you can not only use it for immune support, but it can be good for skin irritations because rose and frankincense, even that cedarwood, are so fantastic for your skin. So it can also be kind of an owie blend of sorts.
Cool.
The Rescuer is the Soothing blend. Its equivalent is Deep Blue. It's very similar to Deep Blue. It doesn't smell like Deep Blue, but it has similar functions. It's really good for soothing muscles. You know, you think of little kids with their sore legs as they're running, as they're active, and it has copaiba in it, which is, oh, I can't even tell you how much I love copaiba right now. It is rocking my world. We're gonna actually in our Facebook group this month, I haven't announced this yet, but Jeannie, you get the first announcement. We're gonna do a copaiba challenge.
Cool.
So I have this really cool method of using copaiba to help with discomfort and inflammation. It's fabulous.
Good.
Oh, anyway, Rescuer. It smells so good. That spearmint gives it kind of that minty, right, that we're used to with Deep Blue, but so good for just little muscles and tension. It's really good. Okay, the next two, the final two in the set are Steady and Brave. So Steady is the grounding blend, which is balance. Kind of like the balance, right? But different ingredients. It has the new Magnolia in it. You're gonna love Magnolia, and you're gonna love the Steady blend. It also has that coriander that we were talking about last week on our Facebook group. So it smells really good, and again, just balancing, calming. This is for our emotions, for our heart. helps with, you know, a rough day at school or a rough day at the office or whatever we're dealing with, adults or children. It's going to be awesome to use this one. And the last one is Brave. It's the Courage blend. So this one is fairly similar to like Passion or Motivate in its function. It's energizing. It helps improve your mood. This will be a great one. I'm seeing this is probably a before school blend. I have one child who she's struggling wanting to go to school, and she has a great teacher. We've checked everything out. Nobody's bullying. Nobody's, you know, nothing like that's going on. She's just, I don't know, it's 3rd grade and she's having a rough time. So we're using this Brave blend for her just to, you know, give her a little boost of confidence and courage so that she knows she can do this. And she loves this one. It smells so good. In fact, I brought them home and they have those cute little carabiner tops on them. And she immediately took them off. She's headed to her backpack to put it on her backpack. I'm like, no, I have to show this to people first. She was so sad that she didn't get to take it yet. So I was kicking myself that I didn't get 2 convention kits, but oh well, I'll know better next year. So it's like, okay, after I have my class on Thursday, then you can put it in on your backpack and it'll be yours after that date. Share with other people first. Okay, so that's the kids stuff. Exciting, yes?
Yes.
They had this cutest little video to introduce that I think I posted it on the Facebook group. I'll have to double check if I did. It was a really cute video about these kids.
And they have all the information about the kids collection in the new magazine this month I got.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you noticed that. Yeah, that was awesome to see. They had it all up to date and ready to go. So that'll be
and the mandarin green that I'm excited about. That is so yummy.
Oh, let me tell you, we got some good stuff here. So this Magnolia Touch was a really exciting one as well. It's really good for the skin. So this Magnolia, I live in the South, right? And magnolia trees are kind of the state bird or something, state tree, whatever. Lots of magnolia trees. And I had a friend over yesterday and I was sharing the oils with her and she smelled this magnolia and she's like, that doesn't smell like our magnolias. So it doesn't have the same aroma. If you're from the South, if you're used to that kind of that smell of magnolia aroma, it doesn't smell like that. This comes from China. And there's another really cool video about how they've sourced it and that actually 52, we all think of China as being this, you know, one giant city or these mega cities, but really 52% of that country is agricultural. And it's just beautiful and serene, and they have these amazing magnolia trees that produce this beautiful oil it's flowery, but it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. It's not as much of a flower as like ylang ylang or neroli. It's a little sweeter than those two, or rose. So I really love it. Great for skin, great for helping, you know, have a healthy heart, all of those anxious feelings. Love. Can't wait for you to try this one. You don't have your kit yet, right?
I do not have my kit. I just saw the email about getting the whole kit, the dream kit, for $230 or something.
Oh,
and I'm like, I know I want this. So I'm going, do I want all the things?
Yep. Well, you know, that's what this is about. That's what this webinar is about, is to give you information about it, and then you can decide if it's worth it for you or not. If not, you can get everything individually. There's a few products, I'll point them out here, a few products that aren't quite available yet, won't be available until next month or the month after, just because of like packaging issues and that kind of stuff. But everything, if you get the kit, you'll get everything. So we'll keep that in mind. Okay, the body mist. So I'd actually never smelled the Beautiful Blend before. And I sprayed this on myself and I melted. It was so yummy. It just smells good, and it really is just nourishing. Like, it doesn't feel, you know, some body mist, you spray it on, it feels like sticky. This doesn't have that effect at all. It has sunflower, avocado, and passion fruit oils to help with the hydration and soothing and softening of the skin. Plus, you know, coconut oil derivations apparently, and that beautiful blend. It's lovely. Even if you're not a body mist kind of person, it feels so amazing.
Isn't Beautiful have the lime in it too?
Yes.
I love the Beautiful blend. Are they going to bring the Beautiful blend back? Because that was just a...
It was just a special that they did last year. I think it was the convention oil last year, and then they, or like the gala, and then they did have it available in their holiday collection.
Right.
But it's not part of the regular lineup. So I don't know. Maybe if it becomes popular enough, they'll
bring it back.
And it is a lot about sourcing as well, right? Some of the oils, some of the things might be a little harder to get. I don't know, but manufacturing it, something. All right, so the next one is pink pepper. So they did this huge segment on pink pepper, and the story behind it, I could go on for hours about the story behind pink pepper, but just suffice it to say it comes from, they're actually sourcing it from 2 different places. They're getting it from Peru, and they're distilling it in Guatemala. So they get it from Peru and they distill it in Guatemala. They're also getting it from oh my gosh, the brain, Kenya. Gosh. From Kenya. And just the effect that this oil alone is having on lives that are, the people that are harvesting it and distilling it, it's amazing. But the physical benefits of pink pepper are pretty profound. This just lists a few of them, right? Supportive for your immune system, supportive for your digestive health, it's great for respiratory systems. It's not listed on this slide, but it's also really good for cellular health. And so they were actually suggesting that this would be a good one to use in combination with DDR prime. We were talking about DDR prime last week as well, right? Last month. So this would be a good one, and you can use it internally, topically, and aromatically. So pretty good. And I think you've smelled pink pepper before. If you got the Mother's Day scent, yeah, it's in that one. So now it's just
very
item.
Although it's very overwhelming for me.
For you?
Yeah, it's like, you know, pepper. I like pepper, but it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Pepper. Yeah, pepper. So diluting this one is probably a good idea for you.
Yeah. And then it would be calmer, but
right.
Maybe more internally. I'm wondering if that might help.
Yeah, and they were talking, like I said, well, in fact, I believe it was this one. Yeah, it was this one that they said actually has better benefits when you take it internally.
Okay.
From just the whole digestive system, from your mouth clear to your liver and kidneys and all the way through. It's just really supportive of those systems. So, pink pepper. Next one, this is a super exciting one. This is actually a new delivery system with this yarrow and pomegranate oil. So how it works basically is they have yarrow as the essential oil, and it is blue, just to warn you, super duper duper blue. Like if you have blue tansy, think along those lines. Blue. But this delivery system is actually, they're calling it an active botanical nutritive duo because they specifically chose the pomegranate seed oil because it has similar benefits to the yarrow essential oil. But they have different pathways, like different cell pathways through the body. So it's like, you know, hitting it from both sides kind of idea. That you get that amazing antioxidant support from both of them, cellular support, immune system, really soothing to the skin and the body and the mind, but from 2 different angles. So this is one that in the Dream Kit, it's only a 15 milliliter bottle. The 30 milliliter bottle will be available beginning of December. But until then, the only way to get it is in the kit in a 15 milliliter size. And it's going to have, I don't know if you can tell here, it's going to have this cool little dropper top on it to make it easier to use internally and topically. So it's pretty cool. Lots of good stuff about yarrow. A lot of stuff that I can't say if I'm trying to stay compliant. So talk to me offline.
Have you tasted it?
Did I taste it? No, you know what? I didn't taste it yet. I only put it on my skin. I'll have to taste it and let you know. I don't have it sitting in front of me, otherwise I'd do it now and let you know. But
okay,
it does have a very unique fragrance, we'll put it that way. I've had a few people say that they didn't like the fragrance. For me, it's not bad. It's actually very mild. I don't know if it's the pomegranate seed oil that kind of tones it down or what, but yeah, this is a good one. It's really good for the blood system.
Huh.
So, that in mind. All right, next one, On Guard mouthwash.
Woohoo!
This is so exciting. Oh my gosh, a big cheer went up when they announced this one. And it tastes good. I did an experiment on myself. It tastes good. It has On Guard in it. And they also added a little bit of peppermint. And I forgot what the other one was. So it has just a little bit of some other oils in it. It's not just the full On Guard flavor.
Maybe spearmint?
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, and I don't have the bottle in front of me. So darn it, that was not smart on my part. But tastes fabulous. And they've actually started doing studies on this one, like actually researching it to see how effective it is. And they found that even at a 20% dilution, it was 40% effective against, there's an enzyme on your teeth that can cause, tooth decay and periodontal disease and like all kinds of stuff. And so they found it even at 20% dilution, it was 40% effective against that. And then they did another test at 80% dilution, and it was 80% effective. So they didn't do the test at 100% for some scientific reason. I can't remember what they explained it, but I'm not a scientist. I love science, and I totally get off on science, but I don't always understand it. So there you go. And it's alcohol-free, which
that's better for us.
So much better. And the cool thing is that it's totally clear. Like it looks like water almost. It's really cool. They had to come up with a new technology basically to make that possible, to keep it clear. It's a micro encapsulation process so that the oils in the process of making that mouthwash, so the oils aren't damaged by that process, and so the dilution stays clear. Pretty cool. Yeah. All right, almost there. Green Mandarin.
Yay!
Oh, love this one. So good.
Smells so good.
It does. And Dr. Hill pointed out how great this one is for the respiratory system. So he recommended blending it with eucalyptus, adding it to your breathe oil, whatever you currently are using for your respiratory support, adding green mandarin to it. And it's also good for digestive system. It's great for, this one is good for circulation. Did I write it down? Oh, no, here's the cool thing about this one. Pink pepper was for circulation. Green mandarin, it has reduced or no photosensitivity. So even though it's a citrus oil, it's not going to cause your skin to get extra sunburned if you go out in the sun. So you can use it topically with no worries about it. That was really cool.
Yeah.
With the other citrus oils, you have to be careful with that. So yeah, green mandarin, awesome. Okay, this one got another chair, turmeric. All kinds of stuff about turmeric. And so he talked about how turmeric's kind of the buzzword these days, right, in the health community. Every doctor is telling us we need to be on turmeric. And he said he agrees with that, that it's an amazing supplement. However, the problem is that when we take it in the form, like in a capsule form, we don't have as good of absorption with it.
Right.
And so a lot of it just gets put out as waste product. We don't really get to take the full potency of it. But by extracting the essential oil from it, we get all of the benefits. It's like 7 times the absorption. So 700% of what you would get from a capsule of turmeric, you can get in a drop of essential oil. And this is another one that is not, to me, it did not smell anything like turmeric, the spice. Nothing.
Huh.
But I'm still going to use it, and probably just in a gel cap or a veggie cap to help that immune function, right? The cellular and the antioxidants, all of that stuff. It's really good for it.
Well, that's what I think that it's going to be the best for, is they might even turn it into a soft gel cap that would help for antioxidant.
Yes, that's exactly what they did with Copaiba.
Yeah, Copaiba.
They put it into a soft gel. And the really cool thing about that, they've had a lot of unrest over the years that they include carrageenan in their soft gel formula. And Dr. Hill pointed out, he's like, you know, we had to use this because there was no other way to do it. Number one. Number two, he said, the amount of carrageenan in each of these soft gels, you'd have to eat. He compared it to ice cream, that right, there's carrageenan in ice cream. He said in one bowl of ice cream, you're getting more carrageenan than you would get by eating a whole lifetime worth of the soft gels. It's such a small amount. However, they've finally developed a technology that they're able to make these soft gels without the carrageenan. And that got a huge cheer. Everyone was excited about that. They're using a tapioca formulation now. So, and I've been using them. Like I said, I'm going to encourage this, either this or just the regular Copaiba oil when we do our Copaiba challenge. I'm excited to see how that turns out for everybody. Okay, we got to scurry through this. The deodorant. They reformulated the deodorant. And now smells like Balance. Yay. It now smells like Balance. And it's not an antiperspirant. You're still going to sweat, which is actually a healthy thing to do, right? But there's no aluminum, there's no phthalates, there's no paraben, there's no talc in it. And it actually has staying power. I've talked to a few people since convention that are heavy exercisers that are using this now, and they're like, yep, this still totally works. Even after a long run or big Zumba workout or whatever, I still smell like Balance. I don't smell like VO. So really exciting to use this one. I haven't used mine yet. Full disclosure, I haven't used mine yet because I wanted to share it at classes, right? I didn't want people to be smelling.
Other people, when you're sweating, may be able to get the benefits of Balance. Say,
right?
Hey, what's that smell?
And then we'll all feel better. And right, if we feel better, we'll exercise.
We'll all be grounded.
We're all going to be grounded. It's beautiful. Okay, so those are the new products. I'm sorry we don't have a lot of time for questions, but I wanted to get through some more really cool information. So this was exciting, the veterinarian panel. I know that there were a lot of people who came to convention just because this was happening, and it didn't disappoint at all. They had a group of, I think there were 5 or 6 veterinarians up there who actively used doTERRA in their practice. And it was pretty cool. Everything from this lady in California, she's actually in Santa Clarita. Did I write her name down? I know I did, because I was really, oh yeah, I took a ton of notes on the veterinary panel. I have no animals, but I took I have my chickens, but Jeanette Yamamoto, she's in Santa Clarita. And Dr. Rourke was there, right? The famous essential oil veterinarian that we all refer to. There was, okay, those are the only names that I wrote down, but there were 3 or 4 others that talked just about how they use the oils. They mentioned that it does take longer for small animals to excrete Melaleuca oil. This has kind of been a question that we've had going back and forth. You know, is Melaleuca oil safe for pets, for dogs specifically, and cats? And she said, you know, because it takes longer for those small bodies to excrete that oil, that you should be cautious with using Melaleuca on your pets, at least the smaller pets, the smaller animals, the dogs and the cats. So what she recommended instead, she said, that's the beauty of the oils. Just like with humans, right? If we have a sensitivity to a certain oil, there's so many other options. We don't have to stick with just one. So she recommended geranium and arbor vitae as good substitutes for Melaleuca oil for your pets, and just to be used in the same way topically. They had so many great suggestions for fleas and ticks, for calming, even for allergies in our pets, digestive issues. They said specifically to use copaiba in your pet internally for just a general health, like a supplement for the pets, that it's really, really good for them.
Did they put it like in their food or just a drop in their water?
I can't remember what they said, but I wrote down that copaiba for general health. So probably, I would imagine, in their water or in their food. If they didn't, if they wouldn't drink the water or eat the food, if you put it in it, you could just use it topically. It would still be beneficial for them. Yeah. Okay. So one really cool thing that came out of this, we have our medical panel, right? Our doctors and our dentists and our surgeons and whatever, this advisory panel. They are implementing a veterinarian advisory board that will be a permanent part of doTERRA, and that will oversee and help come up with, suggestions and uses, and like a guiding force within the company. It's very cool. One thing they did say was that a lot of times people are saying, "Oh, you need to get some products for pets." And one of the veterinarians said, "But all of the things that doTERRA has work for pets. We don't need any special, just because it has a label with a paw on it, it doesn't need it. Just use what you're using. Just use it in smaller amounts and proper dilution for your pet. You're fine, just like you would with your kids." So that was exciting to hear that. And I know that anyone with pets is going to be really, really following this closely, this veterinarian board, advisory board. Okay, I still kind of get goosebumps. Hugh Jackman. It was so cool when he came out. And a few people had been kind of buzzing. Well, I mean, the whole convention. This was the last day of convention on Saturday, right before lunch. And, people had been buzzing about, who they thought the special keynote speaker was. And, we all had our ideas, Dalai Lama, and, all these whatever random. Hugh Jackman never crossed my mind. But right before he came on, Erica, my upline, she leaned over to me and she's like, "I think it's Hugh Jackman." I'm like, "What? Why?" She's like, "Well, the starting song was from Greatest Showman. They're talking about teams. They're doing all this." And sure enough, he comes out and he just belts the song for us. So amazing. So he sang 3 songs, but then in between the songs, he talked about his dreams. And he actually owns a little company. It's similar to, oh gosh, now my brain just went to sleep. The salad dressing company. The actor, race car driver guy.
Not Newman.
Yeah, Newman's Own, Paul Newman. So similar to kind of Paul Newman's idea, right? To have this food that has a story behind it, kind of idea. But Hugh Jackman loves coffee, and so he wanted his coffee to taste good, but then he found out kind of the underbelly of the coffee industry, and decided that he was going to set about to change it. And so he's created this company. I think it's a nonprofit that I think it's called the Laughing Man Coffee. I don't drink coffee, so I didn't really pay a lot of attention to that part of it. But I've heard little rumblings from people since the convention talking about, I wonder how many bags of coffee he sold from, all the people at convention, because he was really inspiring. He talked about his dreams and his visions and how to create those, that it's not just something that's just going to happen. He had a vision. He wanted to be a dancer when he was a child, and his brother put him down, teased him about it, and so he didn't do anything with it until he got into high school. And his brother came to him and apologized and said, you have a gift, you have a talent for this, and I know that you haven't taken it up because of what I said. So I just want you to know that I'm sorry. Anyway, that just inspired him to pursue his dreams. And so he ended up on Broadway. He's singing, he's dancing, and he's like, none of this would have happened if I hadn't had a dream. And he said, every night I visualize and I see it and I taste it and I hear it, and I make, before I go to bed, I make it a point to make my dreams reality before they are. Makes sense? Anyway, super, super inspiring. I wish that we could have a recording of his talk. We have all the rest of the convention recorded, but that piece they're not releasing just because of, you know, proprietary whatever, like him performing and that kind of thing with his contracts and stuff. So anyway, Hugh Jackman, very inspiring. We talked about the OUR, Operation Underground Railroad. This is an amazing organization that works to fight and end human and specifically child sex trafficking around the world. And it's been pretty cool, some of the projects that they've been able to participate in. Dave Sterling, the founder of doTERRA, went with them on an operation just this past year and was able to see firsthand and participate firsthand in helping to round up a pretty significant ring of bad guys. They were saying that ESPN is doing a special series or a special little presentation on OUR. It's going to be like a 10-minute segment on one of these Monday night. Again, I'm not a football fan, and so I don't have a lot of details, but I'm going to try and find that out. I'll post it on our Facebook group if you're interested in, you know, if you're a football fan, you'll probably see it anyway if you watch ESPN. But it's a really, really amazing organization. I'm proud to be part of it. Proud to have a little piece of it in my heart. Next one is Rafa House. This was a new one for me. I guess they've actually been working with the OUR Foundation and with doTERRA for quite a while, and just recently realized, oh, let's just close off this triangle, right, and connect us all up. So Rafa House actually provides a lot of the aftercare for the children that are brought out of the sex trade, and helps rehabilitation, keeps them in a safe place, helps with any kind of legal process that they have to go through in whatever country they live in. So it's a pretty amazing organization. The founder came and presented for us. It was pretty cool. Another great philanthropic piece of doTERRA, they donated $5 million to the Huntsman Cancer Institute to build specifically a women's cancer center. Pretty neat for the care and the research that's going to be provided from that. They were very grateful. Huntsman they were very grateful. They had a few representatives there. It's pretty neat. The Medical Advisory Board talked a little bit about that, and they introduced our first international physician from the UK. So that's really exciting, and they're in talks with other physicians from around the country, China and Japan and all over, to really have an international medical advisory board. Because there's different health concerns, right, depending on the countries we live in. Each of us have kind of our own little special things, so that'll be great to have more voices. All right, we're almost to the end now. Couple of slides that I really felt I needed to share. So this is the nerdy side of me. Like I said, I didn't understand a lot of it, but this Roseman University of Health Sciences, they're a university for like dentists and pharmacists and nurses, that kind of health science. And they decided on their own volition, they didn't contact doTERRA, they didn't contact any of the other essential oil companies they were studying. They decided they wanted to do research on essential oils. So they went to the doTERRA website and they bought several oils, and they went to some of our competitors, some of our major competitors. They never said any names, but we all knew who they were talking about. Went to some of those major competitors and bought oils directly from them too. They didn't go through, wellness advocates or anything. So nobody knew this was happening, and started doing research. Not just all of the research and the testing that's been done so far that we've been presented with has been at about the oils themselves, like the chemistry of the oils, and a lot of the benefits that we talk about in the body are kind of just extrapolation, right? We use lavender We notice a calming effect, so therefore lavender is calming. But the process of how that lavender actually works in the body is not really well known. There's just not been a lot of detailed research. Part of it's, you know, lack of technology to be able to look into it. Anyway, that's what Roseman University decided they wanted to do. And I'm not going to go into the details here, but they had some pretty exciting results as far as not, I mean, doTERRA, yes, but just being able to show the pathway, the cell pathway of how these oils work in the body. It's cutting edge amazingness. Plus, they came up with this kind of unexpected result of their, they tested, they were using doTERRA oils. They weren't specifically testing doTERRA oils, okay? They were testing lots of different oils, but they were getting consistent results with doTERRA oils. And so that was one of the benefits of the study, was that they proved how pure doTERRA is, right? And the potency of it, those standardized extracts. But they also found that several of the competitors would have, you know, these results that didn't really make sense in their testing. And so they said, okay, just for kicks, we're just going to go buy a synthetic, like for example, lavender, right? Lavender is really high in linalool. So they're like, we're just going to go buy a synthetic linalool and we're going to run it through these same tests and see what we get. We ran it through the same tests, and lo and behold, they got the same results on that synthetic that they got on those other lavender, quote unquote, pure lavender oils. So they're hypothesizing that this process that they've come up with can actually identify synthetic oils or adulterated oils or contaminated oils. Isn't that cool? It's pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. And one of the big conclusions they came to was that doTERRA is the best. They said doTERRA is the only one that was consistent and that had truly, truly pure results. All of the others were kind of sketchy looking. So it's really exciting and all independent, right? doTERRA didn't pay for this research or anything. doTERRA didn't pay for them to have the oils. Totally, completely independent. They came up with this. It's very exciting. All right, the third-party testing. This was really cool too. Again, way over my head most of it, but we got to meet several of the people from the Aromatic Plant Research Center that does the third-party testing for doTERRA, and that was really cool. They talked about the process of how they test the oils, and it's a lot more complicated than what I originally thought. What actually happens is a distiller will send a sample of the oil to APRC and they will test it, and if it passes their test, then they send a sample to doTERRA, and doTERRA tests that sample. And so then if the results agree, then they'll order the batch of whatever oil, and doTERRA will test the batch oil, and then if it passes, they send a sample of the batch to APRC to validate that it's the same oil that they tested in the first place. So it's really complicated, but they're coming up with some pretty exciting things too. I put their website here because I'd love for anybody to go out and visit them. They were talking about, they have some education opportunities out there. So especially for those nerds among us, if you want to understand essential oil chemistry better, this is a great place to go for it. Aromatic Plant Research Center, APRC. All right, whoops, wrong way. Okay, we're almost in. So these last few slides, we're getting back to the dreaming and the mission of doTERRA. I didn't write this quote down, but Dave Sterling said, you know, we're crazy oil people. A lot of people meet us and they just think, oh, we're crazy oil people. It's a cult. And he said, we're not a cult. It's a culture. And this is the difference between a cult and a culture, right? The quality, the integrity, and just that belief in giving back that makes us a culture and makes us different. I love that we get to be associated with that. One of my favorite talks from the whole thing, the whole convention, was, oh, I forgot to write her name on here, Gina Truman. You may have heard of the Truman family. They're pretty big in the health world. Her mom wrote a book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. You've heard of that book. Anyway, she spoke. She was one of the final speakers. And she started her talk. She said, I was actually supposed to talk about dreams and about, being full of dreams and fulfilling your dreams. But she said, some experiences over this past month or two, I've decided to change my focus, and I'm going to talk about miracles. She told us that her sister is currently in the hospital battling brain cancer. And every day she goes to visit her sister just says, I believe in miracles. I expect miracles. I am a miracle magnet. And so she talked about how to achieve your dreams, how to see those miracles happen where some people might not see any hope, but if we expect miracles, it'll happen. And one of the key, share us a few of her key points. One of them is she asked us this question. I'm going to ask you guys this question too. What percentage of your time and your resources are you spending on your dreams? Yeah, it's a good question, huh? I had to really think about it. She said, for most of us, we spend probably 80% of our time and resources on just maintaining our status quo, just surviving and getting from day to day. And if we're lucky, we might spend 20% of it on dreaming and thinking about, the what ifs or the could be's. What do you think? Is that where you are, Jeannie? Do you think you have a better balance, or?
I haven't even thought about that, because I don't know if it's like your dreams. I think goals, yeah.
Yeah, goals as well.
Yeah. But part of what I do in my work is part of my goals to help other people. So, something like crosses over.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you have a better balance than the average person. That's awesome.
Because a lot of what I do at work is what I really want to do in life. And so I do it one person at a time.
Right.
And I feel stronger as I share my perspective and my love and my, dreams about life and families and all that, with all these new moms and lift them up. So I really do get to bless people's lives that way. And I feel like I make an impact, I feel like I actually help other people. And then when I'm mentoring and teaching, new nurses, even though it's hard and it's a pain sometimes, there is that I'm helping someone else, I'm mentoring them, I'm teaching them what I know so that it goes on. It doesn't end with me. And so that's part of my, that your dream, that, the person that taught you really gave part of themselves. So that's part of something my goal is to help others and help them, not have to start out at the bottom like I did.
Right.
If they can start out higher, then it's better, right?
Right. That's the point. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it sounds like you have that balance better in check. And one thing she challenged us to do was to, if we are living 80% of our lives, spending 80% of our time and resources on just maintaining and surviving, switch it. And to spend 80% of our time and resources on dreaming and believing and not daydreaming, right? She gave us 5 steps. Actually, there's more than 5. She said, you need to visualize the dream. You need to write it down. Having a record of your dream is key to actually achieving it. You need to believe in yourself and just really internalize that you can achieve this. Even if it seems totally like crazy and out of your realm, if it's something that you're inspired to even think, then absolutely you can achieve it. And to be positive about it, be single-minded. She talked about that, about some people, and she was talking a lot about her business as a doTERRA wellness advocate, but I think this applies to a lot of us, that she had this one friend that was doing doTERRA as a business, but was just kept saying, well, I'm not successful at it. I can't do this. And so they sat down, they kind of discussed it, and it turned out she was doing like 10 other things, like business-wise, not just, family and important things, but 10 other businesses that she was trying to just juggle all of them. And so, right, if we're doing so many other things, we're not going to be totally focused on one thing, and it takes focus. And I loved how she said this: be single-minded with your heart, your head, and your hands. Be single-minded on those goals and on those dreams, and you can expect miracles. One important point she made is to organize your surroundings. So your environment, clear stuff out, throw stuff away, rearrange furniture, right? Whatever it takes, that you need to make room for the miracles to come into your life. That if we're surrounded by stuff, that there won't be room to receive it. There's scriptures that talk about that God will send us, so many blessings, we don't have room to receive it, but we have to make the room for those blessings and for those miracles to come into our lives first. And that comes from writing it down, believing in yourself, and actionizing your plan. She said that's actually a word, actionizing. So getting uncomfortable, doing things that make you uncomfortable, that you don't want to do necessarily, but because it's part of your plan and part of this written process that you have, you can expect miracles when you take action. And her last thing was gratitude. It all comes down to gratitude. Everything else is pointless if we don't have gratitude for where we are, for how far we've come, and for the blessings in our lives. So very inspiring. I loved listening to her. I could listen to her again and again and again. But we've already gone over time. So I want to ask you another question. What's the first step for your dreams? You don't have to answer this. Sounds like Jeannie's well on her way already for some of her dreams and her goals. But I want to put this out there for you, for anyone who has a dream of having better health, creating better health for themselves, for their family, for their friends, or creating a pipeline of finances for their home, for their families. Whatever your dream is, to change the world, if you want to change the world, to build a school in Madagascar, I don't know, whatever your dreams are, you have to take a first step. And just putting this out here, these two options here might be a good first easy step. Getting involved in doTERRA. Going to a dream tour. Dream tour, it's the post-convention tours. And so what that looks like, it's just 2 hours on an evening in various cities throughout the United States. Free. You don't have to pay for it. You do need to register because they'll have limited seating. You go register at a city near you, and you just show up and you just learn. And they give away free stuff. It's good, right, for free stuff. But they had just amazing, I've tried to condense 18 hours into 1 hour. They're going to condense 18 hours into 2 hours, but I'm sure they will choose different things to focus on than I have focused on here. And so it's a good way to help motivate yourself and help really figure out what your dreams are and how to move forward with them. And then, like Jeannie and I were talking a little bit earlier about getting this dream tour kit, being able to get it's worth over $360 wholesale price for all of these products. So getting them giving it for $230, that's a huge steal. And this month they're also giving away, you get 3 extra oils and a car diffuser with this dream tour kit. So I know it's a really good deal. So if you're on a loyalty rewards program, or if you're a wholesale member, get on loyalty rewards program, put this on your loyalty rewards, run it by the 15th. You'll get those 3 oils. It's red mandarin, clementine, which I don't have clementine yet. It'll be coming in the mail this week, and kumquat. And you'll get a free full-size lemon oil as well this month if you put it on your LRP, right, by the 15th. So good stuff. And if you don't have a wholesale account yet, if someone's listening to this afterwards, you don't have your wholesale account yet, you can set your account up with this kit and get all of those free themes.
Wow.
Or if you had, 200 PV and other products that you wanted to get, the special deal with the free oils and the diffuser comes just with a 200 PV order. So the Dream Tour kit makes it easy. You just order one thing and you get the other stuff. Or you could just do one of the regular enrollment kits, whatever. So pretty cool. Contact me if you have questions about it. We're going to end with that final quote. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I wonder if that's one of the most quoted statements at convention this year. They talked a lot about dreams, and I'm telling you, I didn't used to be a dreamer. I was a scientist. I was just head down, getting my work done, trying to raise kids and be a good wife and, go to church and do all the right things. But because of my association with doTERRA, because of the people that I've met, I'm a dreamer now. I come up with all kinds of crazy ideas, and my husband looks at me like, how is that going to happen? And I say, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I want it to happen. And so it's going to happen. I expect miracles. I'm a miracle magnet.
Cool.
And with that, thank you for participating, Jeannie. And I'm going to be sending you a prize because I said everyone that participates live gets a prize. So I'm going to be sending you your LRP Club prize today. So I will slip another little fun something in there for you. I think you're really going to like it. Yay. And everybody else, watch the video, contact me if you have any questions, and I hope to see you all soon.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Super. I do have a question once you turn off the recording.